What's going on, guys, and welcome back to Gooner TV. So Arsenal have a pretty big game tomorrow night against Slavia Prague away. Don't think they've been beaten there all season, which we're going to get into in a second. But first, just want to welcome Albert back to the channel. How you doing, mate? All right?
Yes, good to be back, man. I forgot what this channel, what it looks like, man, but it's good to be back, man.
I know, fucking eventually out of YouTube prison. It took about 90 days or so, but
No, welcome. No, thanks for having me on, man. Absolutely.
yeah, no, thanks for coming on, man. So Arsenal got a pretty good big game tomorrow night. I think that our whole season kind of rests on it. Not I wouldn't say completely rests on it. I've seen the fixture list, the 7 games we've got to go after that, and apart from Chelsea, they're all winnable games, which means we could get back in the Europa League spot. However, where's the sense of that if we're never going to win the Europa League? It just seems like a circle going around, right? What's your thoughts on the game tomorrow, mate?
I said it. I think I was on the same old Arsenal podcast. I said, you know what? I actually think team selection wise, I think he's probably made up his mind, to be honest with you, depending on who's available. Because we obviously know Tierney and Louise are definitely out. Saka, we're not sure. Aubameyang, I would expect Aubameyang to come back in tomorrow, unless the guy's seriously ill. ESR, we're not sure. I haven't heard anything with that. So I actually think for Arteta, I think he's actually got quite an easy decision to make in terms of the team lineup, because he's going to know who's not available. Whether it's going to be a team that we're going to actually want or like is another issue. But listen, we're at the crunch point of the season, and we don't go into this game in a very good position, man. Which is our own fault, our own doing. Not killing the Taff in the first leg, even though not playing very well. But team lineup wise, I think it's actually probably made up his mind a little bit, mate.
Yeah, I mean, it's a must-win game, and obviously we go there. Like I said earlier, they haven't lost at home all season.
Yeah, 21 games, isn't it?
I don't think so. I mean, I know you could argue that the teams in Czech Republic aren't of the highest standards, but even in the Europa League, I mean, they face Rangers who have been brilliant this season and won the Scottish Premier League. I don't think Rangers have lost a game, actually, to be fair, this season. Maybe that one. And they also played Leicester. And I thought Leicester would be. I thought they would win the competition at the start. Like they've got a brilliant team. I really like what they're doing there. But how do you see it going, mate? I mean, I know they've got like a star striker up front that I've heard good things about. But do you think we can get a result there? Because we have to at least score. So.
Yeah, you know what? I think obviously with the way the first leg went with the 1-1 draw, even if we would have gone into this leg tomorrow 1-0 ahead, we still would have needed to score, because you don't know what you're going to get with Arsenal, to be honest with you, because from week to week it bloody well changes. But it's you know what, you're right. You make a good point. I know people, it seems to be a running theme with English football fans where, if it's not the Premier League, then every other league is a farmers league. So if a team hasn't lost at home, I think, is it 21 games apparently this season or whatever it is, that they haven't been beaten at home, then you can't turn your nose up at that, man. Like, they obviously got a good home record for a reason. And they did set up pretty well against us, even though we did kind of have two free clear-cut chances in the first leg. But it's going to be tricky, man. It's going to be tricky. I think either way, mate, minimum we're going to be two free key players probably short tomorrow. So the centre-back pairing will be interesting to see.
Yeah, he seems to chop and change the centre-backs quite a lot, doesn't he? It's kind of weird, because I think we had, was it 9 centre-backs at the start of the season? No, we still got that couple, haven't we?
We still got that problem, man.
It's crazy, isn't it? Just like, this is why I don't understand the whole Saliba situation, because I would have thought he'd be a perfect partner for Gabriel. I mean, I can't understand why Gabriel doesn't get back in a team so easy, but it seems to me that he is like one of the centre-backs he wants to use like regularly going forward. And it just seems obvious to me that Saliba would be the other choice. But I mean, what do you see on that? I think it's crazy that he's been loaned out.
In regards, I'll come to that. Like in regards to tomorrow,
Yeah,
I think Rob Holding will get the berth because if you're going to start Gabriel, he hasn't started Mari and Gabriel in any game this season, so he's not going to start it tomorrow in the second leg in the Europa League quarterfinal. So I think Rob Holding,
the left foot thing.
yeah, I think Rob Holding will get the nod, with Gabriel. But the centre back thing, Saliba, he's doing all right. He's doing all right at Nice, isn't he? Is it Nice he's gone to? I just lost my head. Wherever he's gone to. Yeah, I think it's Nice he's gone to. From what I hear from sort of other Arsenal fans who kind of follow sort of his progression since he's gone on loan, he's doing all right. It's difficult because where we've not seen him, like, we don't know what he's like in an Arsenal shirt. We can't. What have we got him to compare to? We don't know. He's not playing the minutes for us. So,
yeah.
I mean, I heard a lot of people say when he's playing in the under-23s, oh, he's not ready for the first team. I'm like, but
when's he going to be?
Well, how do you know?
Yeah,
like he's not been given a chance. That doesn't make sense to me. But what makes me laugh is they were saying that Saliba's not ready. Some of the Arsenal fans, not all of them, some of them. But then you're going, oh, get Aziz into the team. I'm like, but why would that be all right to put Aziz in the team, but Saliba's not ready? It doesn't make sense. So, that's the thing, mate. Is there any guarantee we're going to see this partnership in the future with Gabriel and Saliba? I'm not 100% confident.
I'm not convinced we will. But I think he's going to try and sell him in the summer.
So it is crazy. I mean, Arsenal are cash converters FC. So they always keep telling us we ain't got any money, but then why are you going to throw 27 million euros down the drain on a defender who you're not going to play?
Well, do you know the funny thing is? It's good you touched on that because I remember seeing a report yesterday that said, no, was it yesterday or the day? Arsenal are the 8th wealthiest valued club on the planet at £2.04 billion or euros, dollars, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And even if we don't, we've got a billionaire owner. So how have we got no money? I just don't get it, mate. It's nonsense to suggest that we don't have the money. We do. We just don't want to spend it. Or Kroenke doesn't want to spend it.
No, it's the thing. This is the thing, right? Arsenal fans won't like it, but if you're a businessman, right? Them days, I've said it before. Them days of Abramovich when he first come over and the Sheikh Mansour's at City. Yes, these guys have got money. Let's have it right. They got money, but they've probably been a little bit more street smart in recent years, rather than blowing the whole wad that they have had for however many years they've been at Man City and obviously Abramovich at Chelsea. So, Kroenke, this is the thing, like, and people need to understand it's not the fact that forget the fact he's American. It doesn't matter what nationality you are. Even as an owner or a businessman, you must have a strategy and a passion for something. So his passion isn't football. And it's as simple as it sounds. That is what it is, because obviously, if you had the same passion for his franchises in America for England, you would see a different. You would see money input. You would see a change. It's not that he hasn't spent any money because we just spent it very, very poorly. But yeah, his priorities are not in England. Hence the reason why he gets his son to do the dirty work.
Yeah, no, I totally agree, mate. I mean, in fairness, he has put some money into the team. I mean, we talked about before. We had the most expensive front four in the Premier League at one point.
Mad.
Was here. 35 million on Xhaka, 45 on Partey, 35 on Mustafi, and all them guys, Tierney, Leno, Gabriel. So we have spent some money.
We have outlay. Yeah. When you think about it, you're right. We have.
We've just chosen badly, on some of them. Like Mustafi, 35 million on him just to rip up his contract 6 months from the end. I mean,
I've never seen a football club operate like that where we're paying players to leave. and the issue you got with that is that's a lot of money. It's a lot. That's a hell of a lot of money. I wouldn't even want to work out how much it is in terms of everything.
The funny thing is, mate, we was the first club under Arsene Wenger who had that sort of style of where we'd get players young and cheap, and we'd sort of bring them through and then, sell them on for like 25 million. But at the time, was probably equivalent to about 50 odd million now, and now we've reduced to like buying players, letting them go for free, or swapping them for other crap players from Man United, or rejecting 60 million from Man City. It's mental, mate. It's absolutely mental.
Oh God! But that's the thing. But that's the thing, mate. Like, you probably saw my you saw my tweet. I put a thing out yesterday about Yves Bissouma on my Insta and Twitter. And this is the point I'm making, Ross, man. Like, anybody seen it, go and see it. It got some traction, man. Rightly so as well. And I've been saying for months now, actually for years, but in terms of YouTube, months, because I've only had a YouTube channel since June last year. But the snobbery amongst sections of our fan base is appalling when it comes to players that are not at fashionable clubs.
Yeah, at Yves Bissouma.
Yeah, and I the response I got from one of the Arsenal fans. I don't know where he's from, but that just typifies what I mean.
Yeah,
because basically what he was saying, Ross, is because the fact he plays for Brighton, he's not good enough for Arsenal. That's what he was saying. When actually, if you've seen him play this season, notably against us, 3 days after Boxing Day, I know he won the game, but he was excellent. He was excellent the other night when KC was on Sky Sports. Like, it makes sense, man. You can play for a team that's not fashionable and be a standout footballer. To me, that is a myth to suggest that because somebody plays at a lower league club in the Premier League, that they're not good enough for Arsenal. When if you look at around the Premier League, some of these guys haven't bought ready-made people, or if they have, they're not at the top end of the Premier League. You can look at various clubs, mate. Various clubs, not just Liverpool. Various clubs. So, yeah. Mate. The thing is, we can have a go at the board, right? And Arteta and his backroom team, but us amongst us fans need to take a bit of responsibility, man, in what we're saying about our own club, man, because it don't make sense, mate. Basuma would walk into our midfield. If anyone wants to sit here and tell me that he wouldn't, mate, then that's what you call an agenda.
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree, mate. I'd love Basuma at Arsenal. I'd also take Lamptey to right back. I'm sure you would too at Brighton.
Yeah.
There's so many players from, clubs that people sort of, mug off a bit that would easily walk into our team. I mean, Villa have got quite a few midfielders who would. Ollie Watkins, the striker, who's just been called up to the England team. There's so many players there. One point I do want to make, though, mate, is you just said there about Aubameyang starting. Lacazette, I thought, was actually really good. I know he was at Sheffield United. They were kind of already relegated. But he played really well, so scored a couple of goals. Would you drop Lacazette for Aubameyang tomorrow night?
I think it'd be extremely harsh on Lacazette to not start tomorrow. But I think the problem with I said this a few days Monday night. The problem is Arteta's under pressure, right? When you're under pressure, you don't always make the right decisions. He has tried to shoehorn Lacazette and Aubameyang into the same team this season, and it doesn't work. It hasn't worked. I hear Arsenal fans talking about, it worked under Emery. When? Like, what games are you talking about? Because I can only think of one at the top of my head, and that was the semi-final against Valencia in the Europa League when we got to the final. Other than that, like, mate, when I think of strike forces, I think of York and Cole, Sheringham, Shearer. That was telepathy, chemistry on the pitch. So, Lacazette and Aubameyang don't have that. They have it off the pitch, but not on the pitch. So what Arteta will do, mate, he'll play both of them tomorrow.
Yeah, you think you'll play Aubameyang out wide on the left?
Yeah, and he shouldn't, because it's the balance of the team. But this is the problem, because he's under pressure, and he's done it already a few times this season. He will play both. I wouldn't play both, and I think even if you're gonna play both, which I don't agree with, then I kind of get it for tomorrow because of one, the way the tie's set up, and two, with the potential injuries in terms of players that might not even play. So he's almost left with, I won't say no choice, but as I said at the start of the stream, I think this team selection might be a bit easier for him because he knows who's not going to play.
Yeah. Do you think he's going to go with a sort of front three of Aubameyang on the left, Pepe on the right, and Lacazette down the middle?
I hear you for Lacazette and Aubameyang. Pepe, I'm not sure. The way Arteta has utilised him this season, I wouldn't have a clue. I'd like to see Martinelli start tomorrow, but I don't think that'll happen. It should, but I don't think it will.
No, you make a good point there, mate, because everyone's been calling for Martinelli to start, me included, I'm sure you as well. And he played really well against Sheffield United, and obviously got his goal. You don't think he'll play? Don't think he'll start him? You think he'll go for like the old sort of more experienced players? He seems to have done so far this season, doesn't he?
He should start Martinelli tomorrow. And
we're up front.
What if he starts Martinelli?
Mm-hmm.
Me personally, I would do Martinelli, Laka, and I would personally start Pepe, but I don't think that'll happen just because of the way the tie's set up at the moment.
Yeah. So you reckon he's going to play Pep on the right, or you play Pep on the right, not Saka?
I'm doing it based off if I don't think Saka. It's tough. I'm doing it based on if he's not playing.
Yeah.
Because obviously Saka would definitely start. I mean, of course I'm having him. He's my fellow Nigerian brother, man. Of course I'd have him playing. But yeah, it depends, mate. Because he's kind of. I saw Arteta. Did he speak today? He must have spoken today, sure. Yeah, because that's where I saw it on. I think it was Football London, and he didn't really sort of answer the question in terms of whether they'd be ready tomorrow, like with Aubameyang and Ødegaard. Saka, I didn't see anything what he said, so I'm not sure.
Oh shit! Yeah, he did go off injured, didn't he? Actually, you remember now?
Yes, dead leg or thigh injury. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Ødegaard, from what I saw on the Arsenal website the other day, he's close to getting recalls. I've heard that before the game at Sheffield United, but obviously they didn't, for maybe just trying to save him. But maybe he's going to come back. And I think if Saka is out injured, I think he might start him.
Yeah, 100%.
He throws out still, isn't he?
It's going to be tough, mate, because we've got a lot of injuries, man, at the wrong time.
When do we ever not have injuries?
It's going to be our turn, innit? Like every team's had it this season, but we've had it. Like we've had a lot of guys now. Recent weeks, the time has been terrible.
I know, mate. Tell me about it, guys. If you're new to the channel, comments in to Albert, so you can read them out in a bit. Just want to turn on a bit to your top subjects for you is racism in football and in general. The news is that Konsa, the guy who made the racist comment to the Rangers player in the last round of the Europa League, has been banned for 10 games. So I would have thought that would mean he'd be out of tomorrow's game. What's your thoughts on that, mate? Do you think that's strong enough, or what's your thoughts?
Oh, and yeah, I mean, I wasn't that surprised in terms of any sanction below a. I don't know. This is the problem. I don't really know what kind of sanctions UEFA and FIFA have got with whatever governing body you want to look at. It's all well banning the guy, but for the offence that it was, is that strong enough? Not really. And I mean, I was surprised to learn that Glenn Kamara got a ban, but apparently, I don't know how true this is, that something happened, obviously, after the game in the tunnel. So that's why he's got the 3-game ban. Apparently, is it rumors that it was 5, but then it got reduced to 3? But I think Rangers want clarification in terms of like the ban for Kamara. And I think it's Kemar Roof who also got the suspension as well, as to like, well, why? What's your findings for this? Like, was you there at the ground, or what happened? I don't know. Maybe some delegate official was there, but yeah, it's not enough, man. Like, the fact that when this thing kicked off, when it happened, and from the player, for the guy Cadella, the guy that actually made the racial comment, to try and say what he said, you just knew he was lying straight away. Hence the reason why he's got a 10-game ban.
Why else would you go like that with your hand?
Yeah, exactly. And also the way the club sort of handled they say, the Rangers were aggressive, and I'm thinking, yeah, but come on, man, like you could have a case for an argument for the way you might have felt the opposition was manhandling you, should I say? But in regards to that, in regards to the racism incident, then is 10 games enough? Not really. The fact that a guy got racially abused and has incurred a ban, you think to yourself, what is going on, man? Like, seriously.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not being funny. There's certain footballers that if that happened to them, you'd have to ban them for life if they got older the player that made the racist remark. So the fact he's got 3-game suspension is just crazy, man.
I mean, we don't know what that's for. I mean, I thought it was stupid that, I personally thought at first that was because of his reaction to it, but how else is he supposed to react to that? But
I heard it was, they're saying that it was something that happened in the tunnel, but I'm like, okay, we didn't see that. But,
sure.
Even so, obviously you can't condone violence, but you can kind of understand it if you're being called a racial derogatory name, aren't you? So as a black footballer, so there's young guy Glenn Kamara as well. So like I said, Rangers are going to appeal that in it with Kemar Roof and Kamara to see actually, well, why are you banning the players for? We want clear and concise reasons as to why you've implemented a ban off the back of someone making a racial comment to one of the Rangers players. So listen, man, I'm not surprised this organization anymore, FIFA and UEFA. They're just useless anyway, these governing bodies. They are. In many different aspects, not just dealing with racism, but many things.
What would you like to see happen, mate? Like in terms of a punishment, like for example, this incident here, right? What do you think is an appropriate punishment, and what should happen to any other footballer who does what he did, like a racial, or just basically being racist to another player? What do you think is? What would you like to see happen?
The best way I can answer that is, I don't know how long he got because such a long time ago. You see, when Eric Cantona, right, did the Kung Fu kick.
Mm-hmm.
Now you remember that's a long time ago.
Yeah, that was
about and he got a very, very long ban. Why should that ban, that length of ban, should be applied to what happened with Glenn Kamara? Sure. And you know what? People might even say the ban's not even good enough, but for that length of the length of ban Cantona had for what he did, and for what this guy says to Glenn Kamara, mate, the maths don't make sense, man. I know that was many years ago. So I said instant with Cantona, but listen, man, us black footballers have been taking this for years, and we don't react the way Cantona did. So if a man like Cantona can go and do that to a fan in the stadium, listen, the punishment that I've got applied to him should be applied to people that are basically just racist and saying stuff on the pitch. Was it free? Whatever. You know what? I'll try and find it. Keep talking. I want to find out how long he got banned for, Cantona. Let me try and see if I can find it.
It was 7 or 9 months, but I know that actually crossed over the summer, didn't it?
Yeah.
So obviously you've got a gap of like 2 or 3 months 2.5 months in the summer, and it included that. But I think it was something like about 7 or 9 months or whatever. But I think you obviously make a really good point. Like if a footballer got like 7 months ban, he's going to think making a comment like that, isn't he? Because that's half a season plus out of the team, or even most of the season if it was at the start of the season, right?
But but the thing is, I don't know who comes together in terms of implementing these rules and the fines, but they need to be stronger, man. You need to. The thing is, when you're talking about racism and sexism, whatever, you need to make a strong stance, man. Yeah. If it means making an example of people when it comes to matters of racism, then I'm all for it.
Yeah, cool, man.
Stronger sanctions, 100%.
Totally agree, mate. I mean, there's some of the things that I've seen going on in Serie A and the Russian league,
awful.
They just get away with murder. What it seems like, or they get like a club gets like a $5,000 fine. It's like these clubs are worth millions and millions of pounds. Like, it's just a joke, isn't it? But
yeah, it's like even that incident a few seasons ago. I think it might have been 2 seasons ago with Lukaku, in Italy. And it like that was it Lukaku? I think it might be another player actually. I think it's another player. And
there's been plenty of players, to be fair.
Plenty, yeah. I can't even remember it. That's the problem. You highlighted it. There's been so many incidents that I'm losing track of the incidents that's been happening. But people, especially in Italy, it's awful, man. Like, but they kind of put it on the players to say, oh, you shouldn't react like that, or it's part of the game. Like, come on, man. Like,
it's not part of the game.
Yeah, that's not. You can use. There's many incidents you can use things to spur you on in the game, right? You shouldn't have to deal with that as a black footballer for someone to call you a racial name for you to go and put the ball in the back of the net to get 3 points. Come on, man. Do me a favor, man. Ridiculous notion.
Absolutely agree, mate. Totally agree. I mean, there was even, I think Valencia even walked off the pitch, didn't they, last week and stuff because
Yeah,
another one. I mean, like I said, there's so many, isn't there? But
yeah, that's the problem, mate.
yeah. Moving on to some better news. I don't know if Arsenal fans watch this will be aware of a good young black player at the club, Balogun. Looks like he's eventually signing a new long-term, I think a 4-year deal. I believe Arsenal are just waiting for confirmation of that. For me personally, I've seen what I've seen of him. He's been involved in the Europa League group games. He's been banging in goals for fun in the reserves. I know it's in the reserves, but he can only score who's up against. I think this kid's got a lot of talent, and I would love to see him come up to the full team next year and hopefully be everything that we wanted Eddie Nketiah to be. What's your thoughts on Balogun's hopefully signing this new long-term deal, mate?
They're saying it's close. But I listened to Arteta actually saying that said he wants him to stay at the club and that it's just sort of crossing the T's and dotting the I's, isn't it? And it's going to be announced pretty soon. But yeah, it's positive, man. 19-year-old kids. I think he's got 9 or 10 in 23 and under 23s. A couple of assists in there as well. The thing is, we need to see him more. That's the problem. We've been crying about Martinelli, not seeing him. So the same applies to this guy as well, man. They're both 19. I mean, the ceiling for some of these guys, I would say the ceiling for Saka's high because we've seen enough of him in terms of game time. But with Balogun, we're not sure, but we know the potential is there. But to fulfill your potential, you need minutes. I mean, and now it's exciting. It's you know what? I know people say, "Oh, if he really wanted to stay and fight for his place, then But fair play to Balogun. I'll tell you why. Because he probably kind of looking at it from a point of view to say, you know what? No, I believe I'm good enough. I think I do deserve some game time, and why should I definitely sign?
Yeah, Leipzig were looking, apparently, weren't they, in Germany?
Yeah, loads of things. Yeah, because he was in the last year. So
Liverpool.
Listen, people might have issued that with a young player. Oh, why can't he fight for the badge? And no, if you think you know your worth, if you think you know your value, and you think you could offer something to the team, then I might say, you know what, pay me the dosh, or I'll go somewhere else.
Yeah, I think it was a matter as also like he wanted to be, like assurances that he was going to get some first team. He didn't want to sign a new contract and then just spend the rest of another year in the reserves. He's
there you go.
I want to play. So
he was exactly
the money. But I believe that he wasn't being picked on the bench for the first team because he hadn't signed a new contract.
Right.
Also, going back on that as well, it was then later found out, that his agent wanted 100 grand a week.
I did, yeah. You know what I did? You know what it is? Because I'm in a couple of good group chats actually. what they're like proper Arsenal season ticket holders, away, Europe, home and away, whatever. So like you hear a lot of stuff like, and you know what, these guys are not ones that just gonna throw stuff out there when they're chatting rubbish. But what you kind of highlight, a couple of guys kind of said like, it's the agent trying to get Balogun on some mad deals, and like actually a couple of other footballers as well, young guys. So they're like kind of no. But like I said, you can look at it either way, mate. Like you can say it to Balogun, like fair play, like you kind of stood your ground with a bit of help from the agent, obviously. But and obviously he's going to stay. Like I said, we're just waiting to see if he's going to be announced now. But it's exciting with him, man. Sort of looking a bit more long term. Me personally, I'd love to see him, Martinelli. Obviously, people will have to get sold, i.e. Nketiah, Lacazette. Aubameyang will still be there, but there's going to be it's going to be from a point where, as you get older, you're going to get less game time. You're not going to be more mobile. You're not going to be the front man anymore. So, listen. You bring in Edouard from Celtic with Martinelli, Balogun. I'll be a very happy old man.
I'd like to see that as well, mate. Yeah,
100%.
I mean, at first I was a bit like, why doesn't Balogun just sign? Some of these kids I thought were a bit above their station, but
a lot of people did.
At the same time, I was like, do you know what? If his agents ask for 100 grand a week, and he's a kid come from the reserves. I was like, he's taking the fucking piss, you know. And I could see it from that point. You know, there's no sense of getting rid of people like Özil and all these people, and then just handing out willy nilly contracts to other people.
Yeah,
you're back to where you started. So I do get that, but I think
I see both sides, bro. I see both sides. I do.
Yeah, cool, man. Just wanted to like finish off with obviously the game with some starting lineup predictions and some score predictions. I just put up a picture there of Pepe scoring the goal in the first leg. What sort of lineup would you like Arsenal to go to? And then we'll finish off with some score predictions.
Oh, so Leno in goal. I think Bellerin will start. Yeah, I think Bellerin will start. Yeah, I do. Bellerin, he will start because obviously we have issues at left back. But so yeah, Bellerin, Holding, Gabriel. I can't see him. I mean, I was surprised to see Xhaka play at left back, but I don't think that happened on Thursday. Tomorrow, I'll be surprised if it does. So Cedric on the left, Partey, Xhaka. Ooh.
Is this your team, or is this who you think he's going to pick?
So I think he's going to pick. Yeah. Partey, Xhaka. I do think Aubameyang will start. Lacazette up top. And then I'm doing it obviously based off who might not even play tomorrow. And then probably I'd go Pepe on the right, but I'm not convinced of that team at all, and just because of the injuries, because you know Saka could be available, and Odegaard, so that completely throws my team out the window by 2 players. So, but yeah, that's what I'd go with, mate.
That's the team you would pick.
That's the team I think he will pick. Sorry, that's the team I think he'll pick.
Who would you pick? Who would you pick tomorrow?
I think the back four and the midfield pick itself. To be honest, that's not even kind of goes without saying. But I think the front four will be interesting, or front three. But I think 2 out of 3. I think Lacazette and Aubameyang will definitely start. Pepe, I'm not sure. I'm really not sure.
I think for me, myself, obviously Leno kind of picks himself. Let's be real. After selling Martinez to Villa, unfortunately, I think you're right. You'd have to pick Bellerin because we need Cedric Suarez. No, scrap that. I would go Chambers right back.
Okay.
Suarez on the left. I go Gabriel. I think Gabriel's our best centre back. I struggle to understand why he has to spend so much time out of the team. Who's the other ones? Pablo Mari, Holding. I'd probably just go Pablo Mari. You know, I don't care if they're both left-footed. I'd go for Partey midfield.
Yeah.
God, it's like Xhaka, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think he'll play. I'll be very surprised if he adopts him at left back again. I'll be very surprised.
Yeah,
he might do it, but I don't think he will.
I wouldn't start Aubameyang. I'd start Lacazette out front just because he was good. I'll start Martinelli on the left, and ideally Saka on the right. If Saka's injured, I'd put Pepe on, and I'd swap the Martinelli and Pepe around. And I think Odegaard's going to be fit for the game, you know, because he was almost fit for Sheffield United. But that's the way I'd go.
Oh, cool.
But yeah, fucking a lot of players get rid of in the summer.
It's tough. We might, like I said, come tomorrow afternoon. I think we'll kind of find out who might be available. Arteta's not gonna. He's not. I mean, at where we are now, like with Wednesday evening game tomorrow, 8:00. He's not going to give away too much in it. So, I think so. I'm hopeful Saka starts and Martinelli personally.
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree, mate. I'm hoping Odegaard will be fit as well. But final thoughts then, mate. What's your score prediction for the game tomorrow? And more importantly, will Arsenal go through?
I actually think we will go through, but I think we might do it in extra time.
Yeah. So I'm
gonna go 2-1. You know, if we need to be, we haven't been this season. We need to be clinical. If it's only 1 chance, 2 chances, we've got to take it. I think we need a couple of goals over there. Personally, we do.
Absolutely.
do.
Second goal, right? I totally agree with you. I think 2-1. I think Arsenal being Arsenal, just everything tells me that we're going to get knocked out, and that's usually when somehow we pull something mental or crazy out of the bag. With a man sent off, we give away a fucking penalty, but somehow we fucking get through. And obviously, I'd like to get through, but I would really like to set up an interesting tie, Mikel Arteta versus Unai Emery in the next round.
Ooh.
That would be some pressure on that game. I would have thought.
Yeah, let's get through tomorrow, mate.
Let's talk about that first.
we'll worry about that if it comes to it, man. But yeah, it's gonna be tough tomorrow, man. It's gonna be tough tomorrow night.
Yeah, cool. Just going to wrap things up there. Thanks for everyone who's watched. Albert, tell the guys where they can find you, mate.
Yes, people. Thanks for having me on, bruv. Well, it's good to be back. It's good to be back in my second home, man, other than my own channel. But yeah, big up, Ross, man. Smash the like button, people. But yeah, Albert J TV, very easy to find. Twitter handle at AUMO57. Come and check out the channel, people.
Yeah, go and subscribe to him. I'm subscribed to him. He's got a great channel. And you'll also see him on loads of other Arsenal fan channels as well. So go follow him and subscribe. Thanks for coming on again, mate. And yeah, let's just hope Arsenal don't let us down tomorrow. So for everyone, until the next time, let's have a good one. Let's hope for a good result tomorrow.
Come on, you Gunners.